what up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn. Welcome to another episode of the Can We Talk R&B podcast. I am your R&B ambassador, and I have a very, very special guest today. We have a triple threat on our hands. We have a singer, an actor, a storyteller, if you will, from the cultures of, let's see, he's been a cultural, impactful artist from Dreamgirls. He's been putting out music as an R&B artist, and I wasn't really aware that he was as dope as he is. I've been going down this rabbit hole for the past few days, knowing we had him come on the show as a musician. Man, this dude is amazing. Look, we got the Keith D. Robinson in the building. What's good?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for taking the time and joining us today, bro. I ask everyone this question: can we talk R&B?
Absolutely.
But not only, we want to talk TV, we want to talk film, we want to talk a number of things with you, because you one of these guys that I know, you know, as the R&B ambassador, just someone who's keeping my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the culture. I don't have as many opportunities to talk to artists who are on both sides of the spectrum in terms of entertainment, in terms of being an actual talented singer and artist, as well as an actor, and working in both avenues simultaneously and having the success that you're having. How do you balance it all?
It's people ask me that. It's all that kind of is what does balance me. Every song has a rhythm. Every scene has a element of drama. So I've kind of always merged the two. One has always fed the other one for me. So I've never not done both of them. So it's the balance comes from me doing both of them, actually.
Gotcha. If you had to pick, I guess that's the balance. So I guess you've already kind of answered that question. But if you had to pick which one feeds your soul the most, in terms of your ability to express, is it the music or is it acting?
I guess it'd have to be the music, of course, because the music is more of me. It's coming from my soul. It's coming from me because, I'm writing the records. I'm kind of building the plane as I'm flying it, so to speak. And then, with the material, with TV and film, there are certain roles that serve me more than others. But with the music, it's every song that I release is personal because it's coming from me.
That makes sense. So what first inspired you to pursue music? I mean, obviously, you being you're a real singer. So it's not like when I listen to you, it's not like this fabricated thing. Like it's the real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I can feel the authenticity and just that genuine, expression of vocality. It reminds me of, not saying you sound like, but it reminds me of someone like Jamie Foxx. Like early on, Jamie Foxx was the real deal. Like this guy was playing, he was singing for real, and he was teasing, that as an artist, as a musician, but obviously comedy and acting is what really catapulted him, and he was able to keep doing music at the same time. So like for you, like what first inspired your pursuit of music?
It started for me in high school. I always loved music. Records were always in the house growing up. My brother was heavy into it. We hip hop kids. So all the R&B and hip hop, I kind of was filtered through my brother. My mother was a singer growing up in the churches. So music was always around. Then when I got in high school, I got in a R&B group, and that kind of really set the wheels in motion. We started performing around Augusta, Georgia. We've been open for acts that came through. We opened for R. Kelly, to Clarence Carter, to Kid Frost, Men at Large. We have everybody came through.
Men at Large.
Yeah, remember Men at Large?
Hell yeah.
The list goes on and on as kids. And then when I went off to college, I got in another R&B group, and that really kind of, really made it become a career where I wanted to pursue it for real. And we got a deal with Motown, a short-lived deal. And after we got out of the deal, then, I was full-fledged in show business, whether I like it or not.
Hold on, we got to rewind for a second. First of all, what's the names of these groups? What was the name of the group in high school? What was the name of the group in college?
The name of the group in high school was called Chemistry. We spelled it KHRIMSTREE, something crazy. We were like a Diet Jodeci, I like to tell people.
Okay.
And then I was in a group called State of Mind in college. It was me and two other cats. We were really big fans of intro. So we really used to rock, do a lot of intro covers, and we did our original. And we signed a deal with Al Heyman, believe it or not. Who was the former concert promoter, now boxing promoter, found us in college. And that really got us into the business, for better or for worse. That deal was kind of crazy. We got out of the deal. And after that, moved out to LA to try to figure it out.
Gotcha. So what broke the group up?
I would say LA, because what happened was, we dropped out of college, and once we got to LA, it was survival of the fittest, and it kind of really separated. I think life kind of came between us to where, we had to figure out how to pay the rent. Luckily, I was able to land a role, and I was kind of always the one that kind of catapulted the group, that was kind of dragging them along, as far as I was the one that was aggressive and really into it. There's always one person in the group. I was that person. So I think just LA just kind of like separated us.
So if you can name, you just mentioned a bunch of R&B groups that inspired you, but if you can mention, I guess, what artist that inspired you personally, that you felt like, you mentioned a Diet Jodeci, but like Intro was, that's Intro was serious. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Mentioned Minute Large. These guys were real singers.
Yeah.
I remember their impact significantly in the 90s. Like, is there a specific artist that you felt like you were inspired by mostly?
I don't know if there's a specific one. I mean, I was just a fan of the genre. I mean, from Stevie Wonder to Donny Hathaway, I was fell in love with as a kid. Of course, MJ, Usher. I remember Usher was touring around Atlanta when he was a teenager back in the mid to late 90s. Atlanta was like Motown. Everybody,
for sure,
anybody was here. D'Angelo was huge. The Princes. I mean, for me to say there was just one artist is kind of like hard, because I was just, it was hard for me to find an album where I didn't like at least one or two records on there. New Edition had a huge impact on me. Boys to Men, so I was a fan of the genre first. So, I don't know if there's one. I mean, I would have to say, as far as just straight vocals, flat-footed vocalists that really affected me was Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder, of course.
Gotcha. When did you realize you could successfully pursue both acting and music the way that you're doing it? Because you've balanced it in a way to be relevant and to be, I guess, present in the music business for, upwards of 25, 30 years, consistently making music in addition to having such I guess, an illustrious career as an actor.
Yeah. I've always felt like I was chasing the music thing. I mean, as far as being noticed, I was always doing it in the dark. I feel like I spent a lot of years in the shadows, and I'm just now people are kind of starting to be able to. Still, this day, people say I didn't know you sing, even though I did this huge musical movie and all that stuff. So the balance was more from the outside looking in, because for me, it was just a function. If I'm on a set, like right now, I'm on set. I just rapped. I'm still in my dressing room. I'm doing an interview about music. So that's kind of how it's always been for me, where a role that I would get would inspire music, and then the music would inspire me to tell a story. So, the success of it was kind of just really contingent on what broke through or what not. I'd be doing it if nobody was listening.
So you mentioned, this music movie. We talking about, are you referring to Dreamgirls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. This is Dreamgirls. You're a very impactful character in that film. Dreamgirls, it remains a landmark in the music and film right now. What stands out most about your character in that film?
What stands out most? I think the parallel of his life to mine, because I'm a songwriter as well. I think the earnestness of CeCe's approach. He believed he could solve problems with his pen. He had that kind of innocent naivete when it came to the music business, which I kind of can identify with first getting in years ago. But just kind of being the glue. I mean, I kind of refer to Oba Babatunde, who originally played him on Broadway, who kind of mentored me through this character. And I wanted to kind of play it through the eyes of a Smokey Robinson, who was kind of right in the right hand of Berry Gordy, who, made the engine go with the records. And that's kind of who CeCe was.
Gotcha. I guess you performed Patience at the Academy Awards. What do you remember specific about that moment?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it was very
I think we just froze.
defining, to say the least. It was a benchmark. Did it pause?
Did we freeze?
Can you see me? You good?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We good? Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I think did someone call on your phone?
Nah.
Okay. I can edit that. It's okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll ask that question again. You performed Patience at the Academy Awards. What do you
Yeah.
remember most about that moment?
I think just how defining it was, it kind of made everything uh, kind of made sense. I was really taken aback by me having a hunch to move out to LA and take a swing at trying to do it big, and standing on that stage was kind of like solidified that my hunch was right. I'm glad that I took the chance, I took the gamble, and just seeing all the huge stars that I knew that I was affiliated with, and looking over and seeing Beyonce and Jennifer and us on this gigantic stage with a billion people watching. It was just kind of like a high wire act. I just didn't want to look down.
For sure, for sure. What did
Right.
working alongside them, like Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson, Jamie Foxx, I mentioned him earlier, Eddie Murphy, these are
Yeah.
all Goliaths in their respective fields. Like, what
Yeah.
did working alongside them uh, help you mature in yourself as an artist?
I mean, it kind of let me know that I was on the right track, and that I was just as I was just as, I deserved to be in the room like
Yeah.
I thought I did. That's kind of what it did the most for me. I mean, working with Jamie if you don't know if you know Jamie is a cool, charismatic guy who puts everybody at ease. Jennifer at the time was so new to the business. She was kind of like, we were kind of like brothers and sisters holding each other's hand through this huge vortex of the big movie, the big budget, the whole thing. So we were kind of like, holding each other down. And, Eddie was kind of surreal because I was just like,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
couldn't believe that I was sitting beside Eddie Murphy in a movie. It was kind of like weird.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning. Like
Yeah.
the GOAT, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears to music a little bit. So let's talk about your new single, Different Languages.
Yeah.
It's out now. What inspired the song? And I mean, you as a songwriter, like, what are you portraying, or what are you telling your audience?
I think what I'm telling the audience is it was I released it around Valentine's Day because I felt like, for one, Valentine's songs, love songs, are always about the good times, and
Yeah.
really relationships are defined by the bad times. Really, can you get through? Can you persevere, even when the communication is completely broken down?
Yeah.
How do you still vibrate and show that maybe the effort itself is enough to keep us together, to show that I care enough to try, even though you're not feeling me right now? And that's kind of where the concept came from. I worked with a guy named Nif Keys who's out of Nigeria. And I had met him on a whim. I was on the set of Deidre from Detroit with a music supervisor. So I'm always around music supervisors trying to pitch my records or whatever. And he was there,
Sure.
introduced us. We were in the studio, and a lot of times with me, I was in a relationship. I think we might have been arguing that day or something. And then when I got to the studio, a lot of times I will whistle the melody and then fill in the blank with the words.
Yeah.
But Nif was like, just what if we just tried the whistle? And I was like, well, I mean, what is the hook? And I'm like, well, the hook can be the whistle. So I was like, well, let's give it a try. And I feel like it made it so unique and it was so catchy. Every time we put it on repeat, it would come back around. It was like, there's no way we can put words over this. We got to let it ride.
Man, you had me whistling in the house all day. I've been
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
man. I love
Yeah.
the creativity of that because you don't really hear that much. I think I've heard, obviously like folky records and stuff like that
Yeah.
you'll hear, but you don't
Right.
really hear that in R&B. But
Right.
I understand that as a songwriter myself. The melody comes how it comes, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is how the song
Yeah.
is being deposited.
And a lot of times it's more about the melody than it is the words a lot of times. So
For
I kind
sure.
of wanted that to represent the bond, the relationship we got is more important than what the issue we have right now.
Yeah. So what exactly the phrase different languages?
Right.
Um, you're obviously, it says different languages. We're not understanding one another is what
Right.
is what I'm speaking in French, you're speaking in Arabic or
Right.
whatnot.
Right. Right.
How do you, in terms of the song, how are you balancing that like how'd you come to that conclusion essentially as a writer, like trying to tell that story as from the language standpoint,
Well,
choosing that
I
title?
think that's I just think that's you kind of answered. I mean, it was kind of about we're not on the same page. Like we're
Mm,
agreeing to disagree. So maybe you can at least feel my vibration. You can feel
mhm.
what it is. You're gonna have to take solace in that I care enough to agree to disagree and not leave. Like this isn't a
Yeah.
breaking point. This is just a disagreement that we're having. And maybe if I try to come at you in a different way, maybe if I don't use words, maybe I use my vibration, then maybe that will be enough to, you can always refer to this as me making the effort that I'm not going to walk away if we disagree on something.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. So this is obviously a precursor to the new album, Love
Yeah,
Episodic 2.
that's right.
So yeah, so what do we when can we expect this project? What is Love Episodic 2 as a whole? Obviously it's a
Yeah,
sequel to
yeah,
the first project. What are
yeah.
we looking for on this?
Well, the album drops June 25th,
Come
June
on.
26th. I'm gonna let y'all hear it first. So I'm gonna bring it through and let y'all check it out
Let's
first.
do it. Let's do it.
Um, it's really I call it Love Episodic because every song is an episode of love, episode of my life. Kind of the play on words, but kind of the play on my career, the dual career. Love
Mhm.
Episodic 1 dropped a few years ago. So check it out if you get a chance. A lot of people didn't even know that there was a Love Episodic 1. But
Yeah.
Love Episodic 2 is really over the last few years, kind of a window into my life, man. I call Love Episodic 2 the algorithm, which was based off of going through COVID, going through a strike, going through a divorce, having a kid,
Come
different
on.
jobs. So every song was inspired by different things that were happening in my life. And sometimes I wrote for some of the records, and then during COVID, I put it down and I would pick it back up. And I've just it's kind of been that car that you have in the yard and you just been working on it, working on it, working on it. And
Yeah.
now I feel like with this new chapter in my career and my life, these last few songs are kind of filling in the blank.
Love that. Love that. Um, how has your perspective on love and relationships evolved since your earlier music? But even talking about, I guess the point you just made, going through a divorce and all these changes, how has it evolved? Because I
Um,
know it's grown.
I think my self-awareness and my empathy has grown. I've become more aware of my baggage and more empathetic to theirs, and that would realize kind of understanding that we all have that, and you kind of move away from the superficial reasons why you stay or why you leave.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that, and really making a soul connection or not investing in someone else's soul if you're not ready to really connect with them on that level. And I think that's just maturity. This comes with life. That comes from heartbreak. That comes from trial and error. So I think that the longer you live, you just keep on living, the more hopefully you will continue to evolve. Because I'm big on self improvement. I'm big on getting better. I'm big on understanding more, asking questions. And I feel like the two ingredients that everyone must have in any form of a relationship is self-awareness and empathy. So I'm just trying to continue to build on that, get more of both.
Absolutely. I mean, that just comes with maturation and just,
Yeah,
I've been through a divorce myself and I understand.
yeah,
I look at myself at that time and who I
yeah,
am now and what prepared me for my new
yeah.
marriage that I'm in now. So it's
Okay.
definitely a thing that is very important.
Yeah,
I find as songwriters, you find find ways to get inside the feeling and try to, you're forced uh, to articulate the feeling,
yeah, yeah,
in terms of creating, illustrating it and telling a story. I think that's all important with growth
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So let's switch back to the acting side. So you right now we have the shows Beyond the Gates on CBS, which is I've watched the show. I think it's an amazing show.
Thanks, man.
You're joining the CBS series as Dr. Ted Richardson. What can you
Right.
tell us about this character?
Well, Ted is he's a plastic surgeon. He's made some mistakes in his relationship that have kind of come back to haunt him. He fathered a secret daughter, unbeknownst to him, that the mother reveals way down the road once he's already established a life and a home with two other kids. So
Wow.
it destroys his marriage because all these secrets come out of what seemed to be this perfect marriage. So he's trying to catch up. He's kind of the first season he was kind of wallowing in sorrow and he was on an apology tour. So we're just now meeting him now where he's kind of getting his footing. He's found new love. He's accepted his fate that his marriage didn't work. And he's embraced this new daughter who is fully grown in her own shoes. And he's trying to really make up for lost time. So I think Ted is kind of one of those guys who is trying to really catch up to stuff that happened when he was younger. And now that he's a grown man, he's trying to be as empathetic as he possibly can. And
Yeah.
sometimes to no avail. Meanwhile, his baby mama is in hot pursuit of him very intensely, very aggressively, on a
Yeah.
daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the show centers around powerful Black family in the
Yeah,
fluent community, which is very important to have this imagery.
yeah,
And I talk about this all the time. We don't, we don't have a lot of this type of content where you're
no,
able to see successful Black people in these
right,
different positions.
correct.
Um, Why do stories like these matter right now?
I mean, representation matters, especially for us, because if we let the powers that be represent us, it will be false and be one sided. So I think shows like this kind of cut right down the middle because it's not something you normally see. I mean, to see well-to-do, affluent African American families from the DMV who are contributing to society still have problems, still can be messy in their personal lives. But I think for young actors, even or for young kids who want to be a doctor, I feel like, hey, this Ted is a plastic surgeon. Maybe it's triggering something in them that maybe they didn't even realize was there. Kind of like what the Cosby Show did for us on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. It was like, oh, here's a two-family home with a nurse, with a doctor and a lawyer, and
Lawyer?
three kids. I mean, whatever the problems they were still a legitimate, well-to-do, middle-class, upper-class black family.
Absolutely. It seems like after the Cosby Show, of course, you had like Family Matters, and which
Yeah.
is more blue collar family, but still family structure.
Right.
Then you had the Fresh Prince of Bel Air in
Right.
terms of family shows.
Yeah.
After those shows, you didn't really see many,
No.
positive. You saw like Living Single, like these type of adult shows, but in terms of like
Yeah.
family shows, you
No.
didn't really
Yeah.
see much of that. And it's been honestly, I can't recall
Maybe
maybe for
15,
20
20
years.
years. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
20.
for a
So
long time.
yeah, so this shows like this kind of re-engage and remind us and them of that we are not one-sided. There's many
Right.
sides to our journey.
hmm How has your long career in film and television shaped the roles for you today? So I would assume you have a lot more control, or at least autonomy in your ability to express yourself as some of these characters.
I think, yeah, once you get the job, I mean, the job is still very competitive. I mean,
Of course.
I liken acting to professional sports. It's like it's always somebody there to take your gig. You got to stay up on top of it. But once you get the gig, a lot of times your resume and the respect and what you've already garnered allows you to have more freedom to kind of
Yeah.
make the character your own for sure. Because at this point now, rarely, if I'm on a set on a job, rarely is there someone there who I've never worked with before. So I feel like I've garnered enough respect to where, I can really, grab the bull by the horns and make it personal.
Absolutely. So you're gearing up right now for the City Winery National Tour. I
Yeah.
saw a clip. I want to say it was Mark Nelson was on it. A date that you did with Mark Nelson. Is that right?
Yeah. Was it in Vegas?
I saw it on Mark's page. So
Okay. Yeah.
he and I,
I think that was in Vegas. It was me. It was, my man, Steve from Troop,
oh, come
and
on,
Tony Grant. And we opened, we went on, right. We opened for, Stokely. Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. That was a
Oh
great set.
man,
Yeah. That was fun.
come
That
on.
was fun.
Some singing's going on. Some singing
Oh
going
yeah,
on in
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was some singing going on that night for sure.
Man, okay. So what can we experience for this tour coming up? Because that's a pretty. Is that the lineup, or is it just different
No, that was
dates?
from there. The lineup now, it's right now, it's up in the air. We're still putting the pieces together. That would be dope. But I just a soulful tour, man. I want to be able to. I bring a lot of the drama from the on screen. I like to bring it live onto the stage.
Yeah.
With real R&B, real live instrumentation, real storytelling, real personal connection with the audience. And I like to shock. A lot of times people are shocked because they're used to seeing me in one medium
Yeah.
as opposed to this one. So it's always exciting to, enlighten. Half of the crowd knows, the other half is like, why is Ted singing? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it come with the territory. So,
Yeah.
answer this question: how does performing live, like, how does that compete with performing in front of the camera?
I think they're total opposite. The thing with performing live is the bigger ham you can be, the more demonstrative, the more connective you can be, the more acknowledging you can be of the audience, the better the performance. It's like liken it to James Brown when he would pass out and they throw the robe over him, or Michael Jackson, he would moonwalk and come out of the floor. It's very showy. It's very the more in your face you can connect with the people, the better performance. With acting, it's quite the opposite. You want to forget the cameras there and live your life as truthful and as real as possible, as if there is no audience and people are just looking through the window of your life. So you're actually going in two different directions, where the stage, you're acknowledging the camera, but on film, you're ignoring it. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. I got to ask you a funny question. Okay. I'm saying it's funny. This episode is going to drop after this happens, but tomorrow, I normally don't even do this, but tomorrow is the versus with Tank versus Tyrese. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Yeah.
Who you got? What you think?
Yeah.
And I think, for one, this is not hip hop, so it's not a battle in the same type of sense. But in R&B, it's a celebration of the catalog. But just for the sake of it being called versus, we got to make our choices. Who you got?
Well, I gotta go with Tank. I mean, Tank is, first of all, Tank is an incredible vocalist. Tyrese is a great vocalist in his own right. Tank is an incredible vocalist. He plays, and he's had more hits. He's had more number ones. I think Tyrese is going to maybe one up him with the drama, because Tyrese is a natural actor. He comes with drama. So I hope he brings that to the stage, which I think he will. So I think like you say, it's a great celebration of R&B, but if it's just straight up flat footed singing R&B, you got to go with Tank.
I haven't quite made my assessment. Well, I've made an assessment. I just haven't quite publicly said it just yet. But Tank is strong. If Tank's going to reach out and dig in his bag of songs that he's written for other artists, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. I mean, Tyrese is, like I say, he's got some good records, but Tank's bag is much deeper.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. But I love both those brothers. Shout out to Tank. Shout out to Tyrese.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to TGT from that standpoint. But
it's good. It's good. That's a good promo. They hit the road after this one.
Absolutely. This is a great, absolutely. They need to go ahead and do a TG2 album, part 2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The first one was amazing. I know that's been 12, 13 years, and they can't get it together, apparently, based off what we see. But I think they're amazing. Look, Keith, thank you for joining the show, man.
Yeah,
This is always a continued conversation. We just love talking R&B over here. So, as always, y'all stay tuned, man.
For sure. Peace, man. Look out for the album. I'll pull up on you. Remember that.
No, it's said and done.
All right, my brother. Appreciate you.
Hang tight. 1 second.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk? Can we talk?